Hey, what up, what up? Just want to make a quick video. This is kind of my recap on the mega fight between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. It's been like, what, almost 2 weeks? Not yet, 2 weeks since the fight happened. Been like, I think like 10 days since the fight happened. So, yeah, it's a first and foremost, before we get into the fight itself, the whole event was spectacular. I think they promoted the fight very, very well. I don't think a fight has been promoted this well, or this I don't think a fight has been this promoted this much since you could say since Mayweather versus Pacquiao. And so I think they give a lot of effort into this, different interviews. You got at Showtime, All Access. They went on ESPN the night before the fight. So many things over social media. I think they promoted the fight very, very well, because I think they suspected that the fight would do very, very well, and especially with the followings that both fighters have. So I think respectfully, they did a very good job in terms of promoting this fight, and it was actually fun to see the back and forth and all the interviews that they were doing. I think both fighters were loose, stuff like that, and both fighters gave effort, and they were, you could say, glad to pretty much promote the fight. So on that respect, I think they did an excellent job with this fight. Being that it's 10 days out since the fight, I don't know if the numbers are correct, but it said it's supposed to have done 1.2 million or somewhere around there. I'm not sure, but if that's the case, they did a very good job. I think that's pretty good numbers. The fight itself, I'm gonna talk about the fight itself, and I'm gonna talk about the future a little bit too. The fight itself, I obviously I had Tank Davis winning, and I don't know if I said this in my prediction video, but it was very apparent in the fight. I think I posted it or commented on someone else's video this, but I don't know if I said this in my prediction video, but I said, I gave Tank advantages, and I think I forgot to say this: his footwork. I think his footwork was just was very key, and that was like basically probably the keys to his victory. Not only I think I'm pretty sure I did say that in my prediction video, actually, but yeah, his footwork got him the win. I mean, a lot of people underestimate. I think a lot of people underestimate footwork. We like to look at hand speed, power, and all that kind of stuff, but you can't, at the highest level, you can't do any of that kind of stuff, or any of that kind of stuff can't be effective to the level or the degree that you would want to if your footwork isn't there to put you in a position to do those kind of things. You get what I'm saying? A lot of fighters can get away with power and speed when you're fighting lower level competition, okay? Or you have fighters who are gonna stand there in front of you and let you do what you do best, which is whatever it is. But when you have a fighter that doesn't allow you to do what you want, or they're not gonna just stand in front of you and just allow you to just hit them, because the art of boxing is more than just, like I said, it's more than just hand speed and power. It has a lot to do with footwork. Your footwork is gonna allow you to do those kind of things that you want to do, especially at the highest level. So when you have a fighter that doesn't allow you to do that, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. And so that's why I said people talk about, look at Ryan Garcia's speed, look at his power, his left hook. those are all cool, but does that hand speed and footwork come? Does that hand speed and power come with footwork? Does he have foot speed? Is he agile with his feet? People keep talking about his speed. Like, come on, man. As if Tank don't have speed as if Tank don't have hand speed himself. You get what I'm saying? Like, people were talking about his hand speed. Like, Tank doesn't have hand speed. Tank has always been a guy who has hand speed. Okay, what else do you bring to the table? That hand speed is nullified when you don't have the footwork or the foot speed also. So technically, in a kind of in a sense, how are you going to talk about his hand speed when his hand speed doesn't come? How are you gonna talk about Ryan's hand speed when his hand speed doesn't come with foot agility? So technically, in a sense, I didn't say this in my prediction video. In a sense, Gervonta Davis was a faster fighter. In a sense, he's more explosive. You know what I'm saying? He can use his feet. He can bend down. He can crouch. He can slip punches. His reflexes. Come on, man. All that contributes to an excellent fighter, and not only an excellent fighter, it also in a sense contributes to his speed. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, I mean, we already know he has hand speed himself. We already know that Tank Davis has hand speed, but when you put that hand speed with good footwork and footwork that's agile, that's springy, that's come on, that's a recipe for disaster for somebody like Ryan who has no footwork. We keep talking about speed, like we underestimating this guy. And so to me, the sharper, the faster fighter to me was Tank Davis. You got hand speed, but your feet is stuck in quicksand. Come on, come on. So how fast are you? You get what I'm saying? And so I think, yeah, I maybe what you call it, playing with the word speed a lot, but I think it deserves to be played with, because speed, I think speed should be defined differently sometimes in a fight game. Speed should not only be looked at with just hands. You gotta have the footwork with it, the feet to really make it come together. Now Ryan, he can make it come together with, like I said before, with fighters who are less competition, so he'll look good. But you step into an A level competition, you don't got the footwork for it, then your speed don't mean nothing. Like, you're slow, like Tank said. Tank said himself, you're slow. You're slow. And I think the reason why he said he was slow is because he could see everything he's about to do. He could see everything. He could predict it. And his feet were slow. So yes, you are slow. That hand speed didn't do nothing. It didn't mean anything. And so during the fight, he got knocked down in the second round. Like, he had his chin in the air. And a lot of people like to say that when he's throwing punches, he liked to take photos or take pictures. And yeah, he's seen everything, man. And so he got knocked down in the second round, trying to, press the fight. And he got caught. And I think another big mistake of him not having his footwork in the proper position, or not using it, is that he had his foot on the inside of Tank Davis lead foot. So normally when a person who's educated on that, they're fighting for position, or jockeying between a southpaw. When you're fighting a southpaw, you're usually jockeying for position if you're orthodox. So you're trying to fight with your lead foot, with his lead foot, to get into a great position that's advantageous to you. But he wasn't doing any of that kind of stuff. He wasn't doing any of that kind of stuff. And so that was his one of his biggest mistakes right there. And I think another thing is Ryan Garcia. I think a couple times I think I seen one time he tried to throw a jab to the body, and I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god. He didn't look really comfortable. Yeah, he may have landed that punch though, the jab to the body, but his positioning and the way he threw it, he did not look comfortable. He looked like he was thinking a lot. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the way he landed it. Yeah, he landed it, but it wasn't like he didn't land it confidently, if you know what I'm saying. And when I saw that, I was like, he don't have it. He don't got it. He just doesn't have it. He doesn't have it for this fight. He doesn't have it. And once I saw that, I was like, yeah. And this was after, I think it was after the knockdown. But he just looked like he was trying out there. Like trying, what I mean, not trying as in like he's trying to press the fight. But at some point, he looked like he was just like, he didn't know what to do out there. You get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, I don't know what they were doing during training camp. But I always said, even before the fight, if they're not working on his footwork, he's gonna have issues. He's gonna have issues. You can't you can't expect to fight somebody an A-level class fighter like Tank Davis or somebody like a Shakur Stevenson or somebody like a Devin Haney and don't have any footwork. He was bound to have problems. And so the fight went how I expected to go. I expected him for Tank to stop him. And Tank did an excellent job. You know, his defense was up to par. And I said this in my last video from his last fight, and I think the previous fight, and now adding this fight to the mix. His defense he been on point with his defense, man. People keep talking about Tank don't know how to box or you get caught too much. Man, his defense been on point his last 3 fights. He don't get touched. He don't get touched. You know what I'm saying? He don't get touched, and he's real patient. Like I said, depending on the fight, he'll fight differently. But he's real patient. He's real controlled. And every punch counts for him. Very accurate. I think has the highest punch accuracy for power punches. So you know what he's doing. The first power punch he threw that fight, he knocked Ryan Garcia down. And so he knows exactly what he's doing in that ring. He got stopped with a body shot, I think in the 7th round. And that was it. People say, well, he or questioning whether he quit or not. I think he could have continued the fight, but I think he made a mental choice not to keep going. I don't think he wanted to go out like that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to mentally keep going with the fight. I think he was done mentally. And he knew if he would have kept going, it would have been real bad for him. And not to say that he didn't take a brutal punch. I'm pretty sure it was brutal. It was a liver shot. But I still think he could have kept going. I think he chose mentally that it wasn't worth to keep going. So essentially he kind of did quit. And so it is what it is. He didn't give the fans or whatever what they wanted. I think he also didn't want to get brutally stopped in front of his family. I think he didn't want to get embarrassed. So I think he chose mentally. He took a mental. He made a decision to not continue. If you get what I'm saying. And so he said, "Nah, I'm gonna live to fight another day." I don't think he wanted to keep. He knew that he didn't have it to to really compete for the rest of the fight. And so he took it upon himself to stop the fight. But that's what it was. Like I said, I think Tank did an excellent job. What's up for Tank? Tank is in an interesting position in his career right now. He's in that position where he could kind of declare any fight he wants. He could pick any fight he wants. At this point of his career, he's probably always going to be the A side because given the fact that he sells a lot, he's a popular fighter, and he like I said, he puts people in seats and stuff like that. So he's in an interesting position in his career right now where he could demand any kind of fight, basically, pretty much. He will have offers from 135 probably all the way up to 147, especially 140. So he's in that position of his career where Mayweather was at a point where he could demand anything. This fight for him was pretty much solidified that him winning this fight was pretty much solidified that he'll always be the A side and that the ball is always going to be in his court and he can make any decision he wants. And so what he's going to do, I don't know really. He has so many options now. So many options. And I think for now, what he's going to do is always take the option, and people may not like this, but he may take the option to always go the money route. You get what I'm saying? It may still be a good fight, but he may not pretty much entertain a legacy fight at the time that people think they would want. You get what I'm saying? So, for example, will he fight Devin Haney? He may fight Devin Haney next. We don't know. But then he also might go for another fight, which will offer him more, which would still be a good fight, but it will just bring him more money at that time. You never know. Like he may fight somebody like Teofimo Lopez next, or somebody like Josh Taylor next. If Josh Taylor beats Teofimo Lopez, which I think he is, that fight still makes sense because it's still a good fight. I think the only difference is whether it would generate the same, will it generate a good amount of money. You get what I'm saying? Or he still might fight Devin Haney. He still might fight Devin Haney next. We never know. If he beats Lomachenko, I think it all depends on how much money it will generate. You get what I'm saying? I don't think he's necessarily would duck anybody like Devin Haney. I just think it has to be about the right timing of things and stuff like that. And will it generate? You know what I'm saying? I think, of course, eventually he will fight Devin Haney. It just has to generate the right amount of money at that time, if you get what I'm saying. As for it being next, I don't know, to be honest, because I feel like there will be a lot of jockeying, a lot of jockeying of powers, basically, if who's the A side, who's going to control this, I think that fight is going to eventually happen, but the negotiations will linger, in my opinion, a little bit, because of the fact that Devin Haney does not generate that much viewing. But at the same time, he's undisputed, so that's where the issue will lie. I actually think that the Shakur Stevenson fight will happen before the Devin Haney fight, to be honest, because I feel like Shakur Stevenson won't have any. He won't have any. For one, he won't have any straps. So even if he does, he probably only have one. I don't know. Yeah, he probably will. No, he won't have any straps. So he won't have the ego that Devin Haney will have, if you get what I'm saying. And so that fight will get made before. And I feel like Shakur doesn't have the same I feel like that situation will get made easier. It definitely will get made easier. So I feel like the Shakur Stevenson fight will happen before the Devin Haney fight. Definitely. But like I said, Tank has so many options, man. He got options at 140. He got options at 135. He got a lot of people that want to fight him. And so he'll be open to a lot of situations. So it is what it is. But I think eventually he will get the Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson fight done. Those fights will happen. But I think the Shakur Stevenson fight will happen before. But that's all right now. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later.